This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be trying to be sly, trying to be cunning, you know, like a fox running around the woods, doing all sorts of crazy stuff, all sneaky. So today it's all about being sneaky and being like a fox, but it also has to do with dice and rolling dice and bluffing, and we're talking about Sly Dice here from Brain Games. This is a 2 to 4 player game, plays in about 30 to 45 minutes, and it's kind of like Yahtzee meets poker with bluffing. Let's take a look. Sly Dice is played over 8 or 9 rounds depending on the amount of players. Here we have a 4-player game set up. Each player is going to get a colored shield and 3 dice behind their shield. We'll randomly give someone the start player marker. We will have 4 gold cards set out here. This one is always there at the beginning. The rest are completely random, and there's a ton of these that will get added over the course of the game. What you're going to be doing is rolling dice and possibly bluffing about what you may have, and you're trying to score these different combinations, similar to sort of like a Yahtzee and a poker style mechanism. So what happens is the player with this will take this and they will roll the 3 common dice. So here we have a 4, and a 5. Now the next step of this happens, everyone does this simultaneously. Every person has 5 dice and they're going to roll all 3 behind their shield. So I have a 4, 3, and a 1. Now, what I'm trying to do is get certain combinations. So for example, this is basically a full house. 3 of any one number and 2 of another number. It also could be 5 of the same number, just for saying. But in this case, it's 3 and 4, a full house. This is however many 2s I get, I'll get 2 points for it. By the way, this is 20 points if I get this. This is if all the dice, meaning the 3 that are common and the 3 of yours, add up or equal to 26, I'll get 20 points. This one I'll go over last and we'll talk about that one later. So in this case, I have 6 dice, 3 of mine, and everyone shares these 3 dice. Well, I've already got a 4. So what we can do, I'm going to put these dice right here. Those are the common dice. So what you can do is, if you want, you can just stop right now and keep what you got. But I don't really have anything great. So what you can do is you can place 1 die in front of your shield to reveal to everybody, and then you can re-roll either both of these or just one if you want. In this case, I want to re-roll both of them. So I'll re-roll both. Ooh. So I will put this 4 out here, and I'll re-roll again. Again, if I wanted to stop, I could. Sometimes people will stop without showing you anything. In this case, I've shown 2, and I'm going to re-roll, and you always leave the last one there. So what I'll do, everyone does this, and this is happening simultaneously, so it's very quick. And then when this is done, the person with the start player is going to say, well, I claim to have a full house. Now, to these people, it looks like I have a full house, possibly. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe I have, you know, a 5 here, which would give me a full house. So I'm basically saying I got a 5 behind my shield. I'm getting a full house. And then it goes to this player. He can either say pass, or he can challenge me. If he passes, it goes to this player. If this player passes, it goes to this player. If this player passes, nobody has challenged me. In this case, I will take a score sheet and write down that I got 20 points, and I would place one of my colored tokens on here with an X saying, I can't go here later this game because you can only do each card once. And I would simply get 20 points. So here under me, I would just put round 1. I actually have 20 points. Can't cheat there. And down here in a 4-player game, we only play 8 rounds, so this one's crossed out. And everybody would do the same thing, and there's many times that you might get 0. So let me go over what else could have happened instead of me actually getting through with this. Now, it's true. I did not have a full house, but nobody challenged me, and I got to steal these points, even though I didn't really get what I needed. Now, if I wanted to, when it came back around and everybody passed, I could have lifted this up and showed that I was actually bluffing. I successfully got through, nobody challenged me, and I can if I want to. I don't have to, but if I want, I can show everybody I was bluffing. If I was bluffing, I would take one of these successful bluffing cards, the smiley face socks, and I would just put it next to me. And I would just place this here. This is going to be end game scoring. I'll go over that later. This just stays in front of me. Now, let's say I actually had rolled the 5. Okay. Now, I said, I have a full house, right? I hadn't scored this yet. On my turn, I said, I have a full house. This player says, pass. This player says, pass. And this player says, I'll accuse you. Now, in this case, I would say, nope, I actually have the full house. I'm going to get my 20 points. Oh, and by the way, Mr. who actually accused me wrongly gets a wrong accuse card. This is the black, the frowny face fox, and he gets one of those cards. So you don't want to do it. Now, if this player had accused me, or let's say it started, or let's say even in addition to this, instead of doing that, let's say I did not have a full house, and I said, I have this. This player would say, I don't believe you. I challenge you. I come up and I say, you're right. I was bluffing. I don't get this. I'm getting 0 points this round. This player gets nothing. They just know that they stopped me from bluffing and they stopped me from scoring, but they don't get anything. You only get a card if you successfully bluff somebody into points, or you get a bad card if you wrongly accuse somebody. But if you rightly accuse somebody, you get nothing. You just stop them from getting points. So that's how a turn works. After I do mine, this player would try to say they have something, and over the course of the game, everybody can claim the same card. That's fine. You just can't accuse. You can't have the same card twice. That's why you put the X on there to show that you haven't done it. Now, after everyone has gone through and either got no points or some points, this passes to the next player. One new card comes out, and then we do it again. So every round there's going to start to be more options out there. And then at the beginning of the round, this would go to the next player, and then they would roll the 3 common dice, and this new card would come out, and we would just keep going. We would play that for the amount of rounds needed. And at the end of the 8th round, with 4 players, you would then look at your final endgame scoring with these cards we talked about earlier. How these score are interesting. Your first one is worth 5 positive points for the successful cards. Your second one is worth 10. So these two together, if you have 2 cards, is 5 plus 10, 15. The third card is 15, so it goes 5, 10, 15. It adds 5 for every card you have, but it doesn't just add 5. The card is worth 5 more. So this one's worth 5, this one's worth 10. That's a total of 15. This one's worth 15. That's a total of 30. This one's worth 20. So that'd be a total of 50 right there if you have that. Now, if I had this many, I had 50 points here. This one, these work the same way. This is minus 5. So I would actually have 45 extra points. But let's say I had this. Let's say 3 and 1. This is 5. 5 plus 10 is 15. 15 plus 15 is 30. Minus 5. I would have minus 25. And that's how those work. You would put those in here, and you'd add up your points, and whoever has the most is the winner. Now let's go over all the different sort of cards that you're going for. Now this is the card that starts all the time in the game. It's called high-low. How it works is these are the common dice. I have to say 3 times whether I'm higher or lower. This is 6. I would say I'm going to roll higher than a 6. I'd roll my 3 dice in front of everybody. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm higher. Great. Now, based on this number, 4, 5, 6, 7, I got to say higher or lower. I'm going to say higher. This is my second roll. Boom, I beat it. I have 9, 12. I'm going to say higher. This is my last roll because you got to do it 3 times. Ooh, and I did it. So because I won it 3 times, one for the local dice, the common dice, and twice on my own dice, I get 15 points. If any of those 3 times I guessed wrong, I get 0 points for the round. It's something that you go after if you have no good bluffs available and you're not going to get anything. This one it shows the number sort of 2 there. That means all 6 dice, the 3 common and the 3 behind you, are even. This one is all 6 dice are odd. This one is 3 of a kind for 15 points. 4 of a kind for 15 points. This is essentially 3 pairs for 25 points. This is essentially 5 of a kind for 35 points. Equal or less than 16 for 20 points. A large straight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 30 points. However many 5s you say you'll have, you'll get 5 points for each 5 that you basically say you have. And there's another one like that where it's just 6. For every 6 you rolled, you'll get 6 points. This one is a small straight, either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now there's 4 cards that have special powers. This one, well, it scores normally. How many 2s do you have? And you get 2 points for every 2. But if you claim this card, instead of putting it like this, you put it like this. Later on, at any time, you can activate this special ability, and when you do so, you go like this, and that just shows you that you can't activate this card again. This one actually allows you to do another card again. So let's say on an earlier turn, you had done this. I got this card, I scored it, I go like this. Later on another turn, I flip this over, I do this ability, and now I can basically score this one again. So that's the only way to break that rule in the game. This one here, again, you score 3s and you'll get 3 points for every 3. You get to take any 2, in a subsequent turn, you take any 2 dice right before you score, you add them together to be 1 die. And you can no longer use these 2 dice during your combination, but these 2 essentially become 1 die. It could be a combination of die out in the common pool or behind your shield or in front of you. It doesn't matter, it gives you some flexibility there. This one has 4. You roll how many 4s you have. Each 4 is worth 4 points. This allows you to completely begin re-rolling again, like as if the turn just started. So you can get up to 3 rolls again, just like the beginning of the round. And this one is a 1. You get 1 point for every 1. But it allows you to basically turn any 1 die into another die, basically any value you want. And then that's right before you score a combination. And that's pretty much all the cards. And you're just adding up all the values, adding up the bonuses. Whoever has the most points is the winner. Look, I like Yahtzee. It's been a family staple of mine for a long time. I like Bluffing. I like Liar's Dice, the games, also known as Perudo. And so I was interested in this one because it seemed like it was a mix of all those, and it really kind of feels like it. I really, really enjoyed this game. This was a ton of fun. There's so much to like about this game. I like, the simultaneous actions. People are rolling their dice, and then you can either just leave them all there and just let everyone guess what the heck you have back there and try to bluff them out, or you can kind of like, I want to re-roll and just show this and re-roll some dice, and hey, I've got some dice showing up there, I've got a full house, and then it's all the bluffing and a lot of fun. It's cool how you can, when you get something past somebody and you flip it up and show them that you bluffed and you take one of the successful bluff cards, it feels really good. Or when you the other way around where you accuse someone and you're wrong, you have to take one of those little cards, everyone's laughing at you. This game is fun. I like how as the rounds go on, more cards come out, so the options become more. That's very interesting. The fun of this game really is the above the table stuff, the bantering, the laughter, the talking. Now it works fine with 2. I mean, you could bluff and be going for stuff. Heck, you could even, if you don't even like lying or bluffing, you could probably play this game pretty straight and still have fun with it. But for me, the bluffing is really the fun part of the messing with your buddies. So the more players, it's like, come on, man. I had a pass on he say he's got a full house. I have to pass. I've already got like 3 wrong accused cards. I can't afford to get another one. You don't have any, man. Why don't you call them out? And it's all about talking other people into trying to call other people out, which is the fun of this game is really your buddies and above the table. But then when you're playing and you roll the dice, there's some good decisions to make. What's left? What's out there? What do I have? Do you think I can bluff with this? And some of those cards have those special abilities, which is cool. Oh, I love this game. This is so fun. This is just, it's quick, it's fun, it's easy to teach. I can't say much more about it. It's just an awesome game. If you like Liar's Dice, if you like Yahtzee, if you like poker, if you like any of those 3, check this thing out because it is a ton of fun, and that's Slide Dice. And because I like this game so much, I'm actually going to be keeping it in my library. And for that, let's give Slide Dice a proper ceremony with a saxophone serenade.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.